Okay, let's start our class. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. With the feeling as condition, craving comes to be. So this is actually we have learned last week. With the feeling as condition, craving comes to be. Because of feeling, craving arises. Craving is the change or embodying change. So that way fatter beings in suffering, problem, or samsara, whatever you call it. So actually here, the craving is the most important part. For that reason, in the Cakkapala Sutta, the Buddha said that craving is the origin of suffering. So if you can break this change, then it will be the end of suffering. So what we call it, cessation of suffering. For I think the craving, this link is very important. With the feeling as condition, craving arises. Today we will use Visuddhimagga explanation to explain three types of craving. Three types of craving, which is a very beautifully explained. So I think I stay in that you stay remember three types of we have a 6 types of craving. So when you see something, you have a craving. When you hear something, craving arises. So when you smell something, when you eat something, when you touch something, when you think something with your mind, craving arises. So in terms of the object that you experience, in terms of the object, so we have a 6 types of craving. So actually this is a very clear categories in terms of object. So in the Vibhanga Sutta, second Sutta, Nidana Sanyutta, so the Buddha classifying, 6 classes of craving based on the object. The object you see, the object you hear, the object you smell, and the object you taste, and the object you test, and the object you think. So we have 6 objects. Based on 6 objects, craving can arise. So this is in terms of object. In terms of the motor occurrence, so we have 3 types of craving. So 3 types of craving is mentioned in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the first sermon of the Buddha. Kama taṇhā, bhava taṇhā, and vibhava taṇhā. So craving for sensual pleasures. Actually, we have actually when you see something, that is also sensual pleasures. When you hear, taste, smell, touch, that is sensual pleasures. So when you crave for it, that is a craving for sensual pleasures. That is the one. Another one, I think another 2 is very important to know. So the Buddha clarifying 3 types of craving in terms of the motor occurrence, how they occur, and how they arise. One is when you experience the object, sensual objects, then you crave for it. So that is called craving for sensual pleasures. The second one is craving for existence, bhava. So actually, there may be two types of explanations. One type, bhava or existence, can be the plane of existence. As you all know that we have a 31 planes of existence. So that is a craving for existence. So another type of interpretation regarding with the craving for existence here is very important. Existence means something, you have a craving when something exists. When something exists. So that is very important. So suppose when you see something, you still see it. That is, the form still exists. So then you crave for it. So that is called craving for existence. Suppose in your family, somebody still existence, then you crave for it. That is craving for existence. But another type of existence is craving for non-existence. In the family, so one person died, then you don't like, actually you have a lot of pain in you, a lot of suffering in your mind, because you have craving for non-existence of that person. So actually there is very subtle one. Actually, craving for existence, we can call it because of lobha, because of greed. When something still exists, you crave for it. Or when something arises in your mind, you crave for it. Suppose you are, how can I say that, something arises in your life. It can be good or bad. Especially when something pleasant thing arises in your life. Suppose you are promoted and you have a your salary increase. You know, is a pleasant. So when it actually that's not a good example. I will give you a better example. Suppose you are working in a well-paid job in a big company. Suppose, right? You are existent. You are honest. You crave for it. You crave your existence in that company. That is craving for existence. Then, unfortunately, you are fired. Non-existent in that company. Then you don't like it. You create non-existence in that company. It is very subtle one. Because of hatred, because of dosa, you don't like that. That happen. Then, when you are working at that company, you crave for it. You crave for existence in that company. That is craving for existence. Then I think I will go a little bit further using Visuddhimagga explanation, which is a very beautiful explanation. Dukkhi sukham patayati. A man in pain for pleasure longs. A man in pain for pleasure longs. Actually here, if somebody experience a painful feeling, long for a pleasure feeling. Suppose you have a painful experience in your life right now. You hate it. You don't like it. then you crave for pleasant experience. That is another craving. Because you don't like a painful feeling in your life, a painful feeling in your body, you crave for pleasant feeling. So here, hating painful feeling in your body or in your life right now, it is called craving for non-existence. A very subtle one, a very subtle one. But you long for, actually, you hate painful feeling, that is called craving. That craving is called craving for non-existence. You don't want existence of painful feeling or painful experience in your life. But according to Buddhism, if you have a painful feeling, you just know it, painful feeling. That's all. There is no follow-up exaggeration. If a painful experience has been in your life, you just know it, that is a painful experience. If a painful feeling arises in your body, you just know it as a painful feeling in your body. That's all. Normally, if we are not mindful, then if we have a painful feeling in our body, then dislike or hatred or anger arises in our mind. Anger or hatred or that painful feeling, it defines our mind. Because of that dislike, because of anger or painful feeling in our life, then we have a lot of problem, a lot of suffering in our mind. So, for that reason, in Suttava Sutta, Sutta Nikaya, Sutta number 36 and Sutta number 6. So we have learned that the difference between normal Puthojana and Ariya, noble person. Normal Puthojana, when they have experienced a painful feeling in their body, in their life, then they don't like it. They don't like that painful feeling, that painful experience. Because of that, he or she suffer another mental feeling. So as a noble person, if a painful feeling arises in his body and painful experience arises in his life, so he just know it, he just understand as a painful feeling. He practice mindfulness. For that reason, there's no place for anger or hatred. He just feel just a painful feeling. There's no mental feeling. No mental feeling of hatred or anger. So that is the difference between normal Puthojana and learned noble person. So here, normally, when we have a painful feeling, we long for pleasure or pleasant feeling. We want to stop it. We want to stop it. We hate it. That is called craving for non-existence. So normally, everyone have their own problem. So when I say the monks also have my own problem, people say that, why? You have any problem? They surprise, Anyone has their own problem, no? So what I mean is, normally we don't like those problems. The problem will arise. This is a natural law. That is a natural law. A painful feeling or painful sensation will arise in our body, in our life as well. But normally, we hate it. We don't like existence of that painful feeling in our life. We don't like existence of that problem in our life. That is craving for non-existence. Because of hatred, because of anger. So as a educated noble people, if we have a painful feeling in our body, a painful experience in our life, we just understand as a painful feeling, as a painful sensation, full of mindfulness, full of wisdom. We clearly comprehend what is happening. So, if we have a mindfulness and wisdom, there's no place for anger. There's no anger. Just a painful sensation in the body. Just a problem in our life. We just understand problem as a problem. When we solve those problems without hatred, without craving, we solve those problems. Then at the end, those problems will be solved. But in the case of a normal Puthojana, so when we have a painful feeling in our body, a painful experience in our life, we have a lot of hatred, a lot of anger. Then we solve the problem with anger and hatred because of that we have a lot of suffering, a lot of problem in our life. So for that reason, mindfulness is the only way to overcome those problems. That is what the Buddha said. Right? Question? Okay. Question. Can you wait for a while? I want to explain. I want to finish this one, and then after finish this one, and then you might clear your question. I might clear your question. Keep your question for a while. The second one is finding pleasure, long for more. If we have a pleasant feeling, we crave for it, we long for it. So we like existence of that pleasant feeling. That is called craving for existence. So when our life is going well, so you are promoted, your salary increase, and you have a lovely people around you, pleasant feeling, pleasant experience. Then you crave for it, you long for it. Then you like existence of those pleasant feeling. That is called craving for existence. So, but here, two types of feeling, craving for existence and craving for non-existence. When something arises, when pleasant feeling arises, craving for existence. When pleasant feeling stop, craving for non-existence or that pleasant feeling. You got it? So here, the same thing, but when pleasant feeling arises, we crave for it. We like it. Craving for existence. When those pleasant feelings stop, then we also crave for it. Crave for non-existence of that pleasant feeling. Arises, you like it. Disappear, you don't like it. So actually here, craving for existence because of lobha. Craving for non-existence because of dosa. Both lobha and dosa are the root of unwholesome deed. You know what the Buddha, everything is linking. So here I think, please keep it in your mind. This is a advanced teachings. So this is the path to go to Nibbana. But when we study these advanced teachings, you might think that this teaching is not relevant in your daily life. But really, if you practice these teachings, it will be the end of suffering. There will be no suffering. You might have a pleasant feeling in your body, painful feeling in your body, neutral feeling in your body. Whatever feeling they arise, you are mindful. No craving at all. If you are not mindful, there's no suffering. No suffering. I think that is very important. Now I give you another example. In one family, two brothers. So their mother passes away. And the other one is crying. But another one is very calm. Actually, the same mother, but their response is different. One is suffering a lot. Another one is not suffering. The reason is educated brother, he accepts the reality of life. We were born, we will die. He accepts the real nature of death, impermanent nature of the body. That is wisdom. So because of that wisdom, so there's no suffering. He fully accepts it. Everyone have to die. My mother, no exception. But in the case of another one, he craved, when mother stay alive, he craved for existence of a mother. So that is craving for existence. But when mother died, another craving arises. Craving for non-existence of the mother. Different type of craving, different type of craving. So some people crave when something still exists. Some people crave when something no longer exists. Like this, The two type of craving. But here, when we experience pleasant feeling, we crave for it. When we experience painful feeling, you also crave for it, but crave for pleasure. Instead of painful feeling, you don't want it, you want to stop it. You don't like it. That's dosa. Then you crave for pleasant one. In the case of the mother, if they crave for existence of a mother, that is craving for existence. Then if the mother died, another craving. Not craving for death. So here, craving for, the non-existence of a mother because of hatred. He don't like it. He doesn't like it. Because of hatred, he longs for existence of a mother. But that is not possible. The mother already died. But he can't accept it. He wants existence of his mother again. Right? His mother again. So that is even though two brothers, the same family, the same mother died, their mother died, but two different modes of mental state. One, not educated, cannot accept the nature of death, then crave for non-existence of her mother. Existence of her mother. No? Another one, he fully accepts it, he understands that everybody will die. Impermanent nature of the body, impermanent nature of life. Then with that understanding, he's calm, he's calm. Sometimes, there's another craving. Sometimes, some people may not like existence of their parents. Only a few, some people may not like existence of their mother. So if their mother died, they think that they will get a lot of money like this, right? That is another type of craving. Because of hatred to the mother, craving for non-existence, non-existence of the mother or the parents. This is very, a very subtle one, very subtle one. For that reason, the Buddha said that because of delusion or ignorance, we have a lobha and dosa. Because of lobha and dosa, then we have a lot of problem. So actually, according to Abhidhamma, the origin of suffering is lobha. Based on this Abhidhamma concept, Visuddhimagga explained. But to me, I think that if we look at the first sermon or the Buddha, the original suffering can be both lobha and dosa. Craving for existence, lobha. Craving for non-existence, dosa. So both lobha and dosa are the origin of suffering. But of course, moha is, how to say, the director in behind. In the film, actor and actress are prominent. Everyone knows actor and actresses. But at the behind, the most important person is the director. Moha is manipulating as a director. So lobha and dosa, they're trying to take a lot of actions. So here, the first one, in pain, long for pleasures. So that is because of lobha. When somebody has a painful feeling, he don't like it, that is dosa. But he craves for pleasant feeling. That is a lobha. And finding pleasure, long for more. If we have a pleasant feeling, normally we long for it, we crave for it. Another one, the peace of equanimity. The peace of equanimity is called upekkha. Neither painful nor pleasant feeling. Is counted pleasure too. So counted as a pleasure to me, equanimity feeling or neutral feeling is very still and very tranquil. For that reason, it is counted as a pleasant feeling. So for that reason, people crave for it. So here, any type of feeling, condition, craving. Any type of feeling, condition, craving. For that reason, the Buddha said that with the feeling as condition, craving arises. But this is a chain. We can break that chain if we are mindful, sati. If we clearly comprehend what is happening in our mind, whether it is pleasant, painful, or neutral. If we know our feeling very clearly, that's wisdom. So with the help of sati and wisdom, we can break that chain. So there will be all the suffering will stop. But in the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha take mindfulness as a main, a main ingredient to break that change. So mindfulness, established on 4 foundations, is the only way to overcome suffering, to overcome problems. sorrow, lamentation, and to attain Nibbana. Okay, question? Oh, at the back. At the back.
Hi, Bhante. So can I just check with you? Feeling causes craving or craving causes feeling?
Sorry?
So is the feeling that causes the craving or does the craving causes the feeling?
Oh, actually, feeling causes craving. So when we have a contact with the object, and we will have a feeling. Feeling will arise to anyone. Normal people, even Arahant, the Buddha, they have a feeling. Feeling here means sensation. Because of that sensation, craving might arise. Craving is condition, might arise. But if we are mindful, if we are clearly comprehend that feeling, there is no place for craving. Craving will not arise. So feeling, because of feeling, craving arises.
So when you say that being mindful of the feeling, do you mean that being able to name the feeling? So I'm feeling angry now.
Not naming, not actually naming, just know. Actually, later we will learn one soda. I think if we learn that soda, it will be quite clear.
Thank you.
Okay. So I will answer why with the soda, with the help of the sodas. Okay, question? Any question? Please use microphone.
Bhante, I have physical pain for many months.
Sorry?
I have physical pain for many months.
Okay.
I acknowledge my pain. Actually, I have no dosa. Just that I just hope that I can have a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
So is that called craving?
But here, actually, if you have a mental pain, that is because of craving. If you don't have just physical pain, you just acknowledge that is physical pain. You just acknowledge, you just understand that is a physical pain. If there is no mental pain follow, that is mindfulness. So as a educated noble person, as we learned in previous soda, so we will have a physical pain in our body, and we will have a problem in our life. We just understand that is unpleasant feeling or painful feeling, unpleasant experience in our life. Just acknowledge, just understand. Then, if you have a mindfulness and wisdom is you clearly comprehend your problem, your physical pain. That is wisdom. Then mindfulness plus wisdom, then you can solve the problem. But of course, physical pain will be stay there, but there will be no mental pain. Okay?
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Question? Okay, then let's study the sutta. Feeling is impermanent. Any type of feeling is impermanent. That's very important. Any type of feeling arises depend on the body. Depend on the body, kaya. We have a pleasant feeling in our body or in our mind, especially in our body, unpleasant feeling in our body, neutral feeling in our body. So any type of feeling arises depend on the body. The body is impermanent. Everyone know it, right? The body, your body 10 years ago, the body right now, totally different. So your physical phenomena are deteriorating, deteriorating, impermanent. People die, quite clear, because the body is impermanent. The body is impermanent, conditioned by many causes. Because sometimes because of hot weather, sometimes because of food, sometimes because of our mind, etc. And dependently arising. This body also dependent on rising. So in that, as we have ignorance, avidya, we have a sankhara. Because of sankhara, vijnana, consciousness arises. Because of consciousness, the mind and the body, or the mind and matter arises. Dependent on arising, right? Dependent on arising. Therefore, these feelings are also impermanent. Actually, when the Buddha teach the sermon, so he used dependent origination method, We call it causality. Something arises depending on something. But here, the Buddha want to say any type of feeling is impermanent. The reason is any type of feeling arises based on the body. The body is impermanent. For that reason, feeling also impermanent. That is the Buddha method. Here, actually, the body here me in the threefold formula of dependent originations, dependent on contact, feeling arises. But here, the Buddha used the word dependent on the body, feeling arises. So what I want to say here is, don't take dependent originations as a threefold formula. Don't take it, don't fix, Sometimes the Buddha just said 2 factor, only 2. Sometimes 3 factor, sometimes 5, etc. So don't stick to threefold formula. Normally now we are learning based on threefold formula. The reason is this is the most complete form of dependent originations. So at the end of dependent originations, I will give 1 soda, which is more factor than 3, Then I will give you that soda, when we learn. What I want to say is, don't fix your knowledge that we have only threefold formula. Don't fix. But here, any type of feeling is impermanent. The reason is feeling arises depending on the body. The body is impermanent. For that reason, feeling also impermanent. Let me finish the next slide. If we understand the impermanent nature of the feeling, there is no reason to have aversion or anger or hatred when we experience painful feeling. So there is no reason to have a craving or lobha on pleasant feeling. When we have a pleasant feeling, there is no reason to have ignorance or moha on neither painful nor pleasant feeling, neutral feeling. Actually, we have learned in last week, if we have a painful feeling, aversion is potential to arise. Underlying tendency, If we are mindful, you know that just a painful feeling. That's mindfulness. And you know painful feeling arises in your body. That is, you clearly comprehend. That is wisdom. If mindfulness and wisdom arises in your mind, there will be no aversion at all. There's no aversion at all. Abhidhamma, the Buddha clearly said that only one mind movement arises at a time. If sati and wisdom arises, then because of sati, wisdom arises. If those middle state arises, there's no place for aversion. Also, when you have a pleasant feeling, you just understand, fully understand, as a pleasant feeling. Mindfulness plus wisdom. Then there will be no craving for it. Then even the neutral feeling, you must know neutral feeling as a neutral feeling. It need a lot of mindfulness and concentrations, especially neutral feeling. If there is a mindfulness and wisdom, there's no place for ignorance. So ignorance is the opposite of wisdom. So that is the main CMOD disorder. Okay, question?
Bhante, can you go back to the previous slide? Yeah, the first statement. Actually, you explained it, but I didn't quite understand. You explained it already, my question.
Okay.
But I didn't quite understand. The first sentence says, any type of feeling arises dependent on the body.
Yeah.
We know that feeling arises because of contact.
Yeah.
Contact with an object.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. An object can be the body.
Yeah.
It can also be thought.
Yeah.
Thought.
You're right.
Yeah. So it's not true that any type of feeling arises dependent on the body, because it also arises dependent on the thought.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, which may be preceded by the taste or whatever, which is not even a body, Yeah, that's right. So could you explain?
Okay, a very good question. And also this is called the Buddha pre-discernment, depend on the time and depend on the audience. Because in this Sutta, the Buddha visit the monks who are sick. The monks always listen the Dhamma, so they don't need to, the Buddha doesn't need to explain in detail. In detail means, depending on ignorance, sankhara arises. Because of sankhara, vijnana. Because of vijnana, namarupa. Because of namarupa, salayatana. Because of salayatana, contact. Actually, the Buddha combine all. So the highlight here is, any type of feeling is impermanent. Because the monks at the time are painful feeling, they are sick. So the Buddha want to highlight, even the sick, a painful feeling is impermanent. Because painful feeling arises because of the body, having body. Because the nature of the body is impermanent. The Buddha want to highlight the importance of impermanent nature of the feeling. Because at the time, the Buddha visit the monks who are feeling sick and ill. They have a lot of painful feeling. So the Buddha said, painful feeling is impermanent. Normally, people think that only pleasant things are impermanent. They forget that unpleasant things also impermanent. When you have a problem in your life, that is impermanent. Don't worry, that is impermanent. It will disappear one day. But if you are creating a lot of causes, the problem will arise. Another problem will arise. But what in our part, what we have to do is just acknowledge problem as a problem. Just acknowledge, understand painful feeling as a painful feeling. Just acknowledge, just understand, just accept it. Then there's no mental feeling, mental painful feeling. That is the difference between educated and uneducated. For that reason, for those who are meditating, they are always mindful. So they are in a habit of awareness or mindfulness. So even when they have a lot of painful feeling because of diseases or illness, they contemplate on painful feeling. they understand painful feeling as a painful feeling. Because of that understanding, here understanding is wisdom, no? So that wisdom arises because of mindfulness. So because of that mindfulness and wisdom, there is no mental pain. Fully accept if they have a problem in their body. So that is a bit. Here actually the question is very beautiful. Normally in dependent origination, the Buddha clearly said that depending on contact, feeling arises. But here the Buddha combined everything. Six senses, contact, as a body. You know, the Buddha highlight just body. So the Buddha, because the Buddha is talking to the sick monk, because their body is painful, and the Buddha just highlight only that part. The Buddha does not talk about, of course, yes, other things, you know, seeing or hearing, as you said that, you know. Yeah. So, depending on condition, depending on the timing, the Buddha used different method, right? Question? Any question? Okay. Microphone.
Hi. So can I understand that any type of feelings can arise from three types? One is from your own body, and one is for your self-thinking, and one is from other people. So depending on what you are thinking, then those kind of feeling will arise.
But here, I think the Buddha just highlight feeling which arises depend on the body. Here.
Okay.
But of course, sometimes feeling arises by thinking.
Thinking yourself.
So if we thinking yourself or thinking other people. So actually, when you think something, it can be yourself or others or anything. That is called mind object. That is called mind object. But here the Buddha just highlight the object of the body. Okay. But of course, feeling can be 5 kinds according to faculty. Sometimes pleasant, painful feeling because of physical painful one. Sometimes pleasant feeling because of physical pleasant experience. And neutral feeling. Sometimes, how to say, the displeasure feeling or pleasure feeling. So that is purely based on the mind. So we have 5 kinds. In my previous lessons, I have highlighted 5 kinds of feeling based on faculty. Okay, so let's continue. Now I will quote the suttas, what the Buddha taught. I think I will answer your question by using this sutta. I think the Buddha said that if we understand the impermanent nature of, this is my writing, sorry. This is my writing. So here I will quote what the Buddha taught. The Buddha said, if there arises in him a pleasant feeling, he understands thus, there has arisen in me a pleasant feeling. You just know it, yeah? If there is pleasant feeling arises in your body or in your mind, you just know it. This is a pleasant sensation. Here, I will highlight again. Here, feeling vedanā, not emotional aspect, just sensation or experience. So when you experience cold feeling, cold sensation, pleasant one, And hot sand, hot sensation, painful feeling. When somebody beat you, painful. Just sensation, your body sense, painful feeling. Sensation, no emotion yet, no emotion yet. So previous week, one student asked, craving is the emotional aspect. Yes. Actually, feeling or experience or sensation, nothing to do with the emotional aspect. No emotion. Everyone will experience sensation. Bodhojana or Arahant or even the Buddha. Sometimes the Buddha have illness or sickness. He have a unpleasant sensation. He just know unpleasant sensation as a unpleasant sensation. There's no anger. Why me? Not others. Like this, you know. There's no emotional aspect. For that reason, the Arahant, the noble persons are very calm, because they can control their emotion. So sensation will be there, no? Anyone will experience painful feeling, pleasant feeling, neutral feeling. But it depends on our understanding, how our emotion arises. But here, if a pleasant feeling arises, you just know it. You just understand it as a pleasant feeling or pleasant sensation. Now that is dependent, that pleasant feeling dependent, not independent. Dependent on what? Dependent on this very body. Actually, this is the way the Buddha taught. Actually, pleasant feeling arises depending on something. Depending on what? Depending on this very body. Pleasant feeling. But this body is impermanent, conditioned, dependently arising. So when the pleasant feeling arises independent on a body that is that is impermanent, conditioned, dependently arising, how could be permanent? How could be permanent? It's quite clear, right? Pleasant feeling arises depending on this body. This body is impermanent. Why? Pleasant feeling will be permanent. He dwells contemplating impermanence in the body, impermanence in the pleasant feeling. He dwells contemplating vanishing, contemplating fading away, contemplating cessation, contemplating relinquishment. But here, just vanishing or stopping. Pleasant feeling arises in your body. So that pleasant feelings arises depending on the body. The body is impermanent. For that reason, pleasant feeling also impermanent. You must have that understanding. Then when pleasant feeling finish or vanish, stop, cease. When that pleasant feeling cease, but you must know, pleasant feeling cease. We have a enjoyment in your life. Just know it, just understand it. That is a happy moment in your life. So if you are mindful, fully understanding wisdom, there's no place for craving. So that happy moment will stop one day or will cease, nature or impermanence. But if that happy moment finish or cease, just understand, happy moment stop, happy moment cease. Just understand that. That is wisdom. If that mindfulness, wisdom arises in your mind, even that happy moment cease or finish, there will be no suffering at all in your mind. You fully accept it, you fully understand. That is, for that reason, the craving is the original suffering. If we stop that craving, that will be cessation of suffering. If there's no craving or happy moment, so if that happy moment finish or cease, there will be no craving. If there's no craving, no suffering in your mind. You fully accept it, you fully understand it. That is the nature of phenomena. Whether it is pleasant, happy moment or sad moment, anything. For that reason, in one of the famous writer in Myanmar, and he said that people think that only prosperous moment is impermanent. But he said that the poverty also impermanent. Poverty also impermanent. But if we try, it can be stopped. It can be stopped. So when people are poor, they have a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of anger and hatred. They don't like it because they don't understand the nature of poverty. If they try, and they will be prosperous again. Not just prosperity is impermanent, and poverty also impermanent. But here, actually, the Buddha said that pleasant feeling, painful feeling, neutral feeling, any type of feeling is impermanent, right? So when they arise, just understand they arise. When they cease, when they finish, just understand they cease. So that is understanding or wisdom. So if you have with that wisdom, you can fully accept it, you can fully understand it. So there will be no mental suffering at all. So that is cessation of suffering, right? We call it, the Buddha uses it, taṇhā nibbūda, temporary nibbana. Temporary nibbana. If there's no craving, there's no suffering. If there's no suffering, that is nibbana. Not real nibbana, of course. That is a taṇhā nibbūda, temporary nibbana, right? Temporary nibbana. Your mind is cool, no hot feeling. And he dwells thus the underlying tendency to lust in regard to the body and in regard to the pleasant feeling is abandoned by him. If pleasant feeling arises, he just know it, that is a pleasant feeling. That pleasant feeling disappear, he just know it, he just understand it, it is disappear. That is because of mindfulness and wisdom. If there is mindfulness and wisdom, there is no place for lust. The lust is nothing but lobha or craving. Another name for craving. Another name for craving. So there is no place for lust. But if you are not mindful, if you crave for pleasant feeling, so that you do not know the nature of impermanent nature of that pleasant feeling, that pleasant feeling will disappear one day, then you cannot accept it, Craving for pleasant feeling will arise. Because of that craving, a lot of problem in your life, a lot of suffering in your life. So if there's no craving, pleasant feeling, when it is arising, when it is ceased, not a problem. You just know it, you just acknowledge it. Happy moment in your life arises, you just know that happy moment arises. That is wisdom. The happy moment cease or stop. You just understand it and acknowledge it. Happy moment cease. That is wisdom. So if there is wisdom and mindfulness, no place for craving or hatred. And a happy moment in your life. Normally, a happy moment in our life happen, we don't like it, dosa. You don't like it, dosa, because we do not understand a happy moment as a happy moment. So then that a happy moment also impermanent. One day it will disappear. Then you like it so much. Craving for, craving for non-existence of that happy moment. That is also another type of craving. For that reason, for those people are very agitated, they are very moody. So when a happy moment arises, excited. When a happy moment arises, depression will arise. Their mind is not stable. The Buddha used the word slightly agitated or shake. So their mind is shaking, not stable, because lack of mindfulness and wisdom. Happy moment, we must understand happy moment. It arises. If you understand, if you are mindful, there is no craving for existence of that happy moment. Then that happy moment disappear and stop. You just understand and mindful that happy moment disappear. There's no place for dosa, It disappear, normally we hate it. If wisdom arises in your mind, no dosa. So that is how the mindfulness plays important role in our life. How meditator, why people start to follow meditation. That is the result, That is different between the normal person and educated person. Then sometimes we have a painful feeling. If a painful feeling arises, you just know as a painful feeling. It disappears, you just know it disappears. How it arises and disappears. They are impermanent. You just know it. You just know a painful sensation as a painful sensation. Then, if you have mindfulness and wisdom, actually in that sutta, the Buddha used the word, a very beautiful word. I will read out just only one line. Just only one line. Bhikkhus, a bhikkhu should await his time, mindful and clearly comprehending. This is our instruction to you. Here the Buddha used the word two words, mindfulness, mindful, and clearly comprehending. That is what I'm talking, sati and pañña. Sati and pañña. Actually, the Buddha used the word sampajana, knowing something when they arise, pleasant feeling arises, you just know it, pleasant feeling arises. That pleasant feeling disappear, you just know it, pleasant feeling disappear. That is clearly comprehending, sampajana. That is wisdom. So I think that is very important. When painful feeling arises, normally we don't like it. That is a normal person behavior. But the Buddha said that if a painful feeling arises, you just understand. Painful feeling arises. Then it will disappear because it's impermanent nature, right? Then if disappear, you just acknowledge, you just know it, disappear. Then there'll be no aversion. Aversion has no place for those who are mindful and clearly comprehending. For that reason, people who are meditating, truly meditating, they are mindful all the time. They clearly comprehend what is happening, whatever happens in their mind, in their body. That is mindfulness and wisdom. That is all about meditation. Then there's no aversion when they experience a painful feeling or difficulty in their life, the problem in their life. They just acknowledge as a difficulty, as a problem. Then that problem is subject to impermanence. It will disappear in our life. But if that problem disappears, don't feel elated. That is another craving. Craving for non-existence of that problem. You know? It's very, very subtle one, you know, very subtle one. But neutral feeling, actually, many people ask, they do not understand neutral feeling. Actually, the Buddha used neither painful nor pleasant feeling. In our life, in our body, especially in our body, sometimes pleasant sensation, sometimes painful sensation. Those are very clear to us. But sometimes there's no pleasant feeling, there's no painful feeling. Those moments, feeling in your body not clear to you. That ignorance, you know, is waiting. He's waiting. For that reason, the Buddha said that underlying tendency to ignorance in regard to neutral feeling. Neutral feeling. So here, we have to be very mindful all the time. Even neutral feeling. Feeling is not clear to you, but if you are mindful, you know it. That's neutral feeling. If you know it, that is wisdom. The wisdom is the opposite of ignorance. Right? The I know the Dhamma, Yangenchi Samudaya Dhamma, Sabanda Nidoda Dhamma. So Venerable Cornelia became Sotapanna after hearing the Four Noble Truths. So Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta record this line. Wherever is of the nature of arising, or that is of the nature of cessation. Feeling arises, right? It also has the nature of cessation. Problem arises in our life, it is subject to impermanence. It will finish, right? If we understand impermanent nature of our mind, our feeling, our body, everything, that is the I know the Dhamma. So you see the Dhamma with your mind's eye, with the wisdom eye. It's called Dhamma Chakku. Dhamma is Dhamma, Chakku is eye, you know? The I know the Dhamma. It's very important to understand this teaching. So if we understand impermanent nature of the feeling, if we know wherever feeling arises, you just know just a feeling. There's no craving, there's no hatred, there's no ignorance. If there's no ignorance, no hatred, no greed, there's no craving, cessation of suffering. There will be no suffering. So that is for that reason, I said that this is the most important chain, you know. Craving is the chain that fetter being in samsara, that fetter being in problem, in suffering. If we have no craving, no suffering at all. I think this is a very famous line. This too shall pass. I think many of you know that, right? Especially Ajahn Brahm, he valued this one. This too shall pass. Then you have a unpleasant experience in your life. This too shall pass. Pleasant experience, don't forget that. This too also will pass. Impermanent nature of the feeling, right? Impermanent nature of experience, whether it is good or bad or neutral, everything is impermanent. This too shall pass. It is not Ajahn Brahm word, it is a line from Persian poem. Okay? Question? Okay.
Bhante, I'm not very resilient. So sometimes I can manage myself better. I'm calm.
Yeah.
After a sleep, the next day, by my emotions, because not my. So, because sometimes very calm, sometimes I can't do it. Yeah.
Actually, because of the microphone, so I can't clear very clearly. I know what you asked. Anyway, you want to know how to improve
in my mindfulness.
Your mindfulness.
Yes, I'm not very good at it. I still get affected by emotions.
I see.
Yeah.
You are not alone. So many people have to try to manage their mind. So I think, don't worry, don't feel depressed. So you are, but of course, practice makes perfect, right? We have to practice. So I think we are going to learn Satipatthana Sutta, how to improve our mindfulness. I hope you can wait up to that time. This year. So we have 4 objects or 4 foundations to develop our mindfulness. That is our body. Not only body, thing that is connected with the body. Sometimes we meditate breathing, using breathing object. You concentrate your breathing, no? That is to develop mindfulness, one thing. Especially when you want to develop your mindfulness, trying to know everything wherever you do. When you are walking, just mindfully walk. When you're talking, you just know what you are talking. When you are drinking, you just know that you are drinking. When you go to toilet, when you are defecating, you just know that you are defecating. Not a joke, it's what the Buddha taught. When you're urinating, you just know that you're urinating. That is, actually the Buddha used these 10. When you are urinating, you just know that you are urinating. That is how we develop our mindfulness. Sometimes, normally people, when they go to toilet, they watch their telephone, like this, you know. They are not mindful what they are doing, no? For that reason, their mind is restless. So here the Buddha said that wherever you do, be mindful. Now I'm talking, I have to be very mindful what I'm talking. You are listening, you have to be very mindful that you are listening. Without mindfulness, you will not understand what I'm talking, you know? Mindfulness can be established on any moment. And second one is a feeling. As I said that, pleasant feeling as a pleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling as a unpleasant feeling. Neutral feeling as a neutral feeling. That is the way to develop. Another one is the mind. We have a sometimes greedy, sometimes compassionate, generous, sometimes jealous, sometimes sympathetic, or compassionate. Wherever state of mind arises in your mind, just concentrate on that. So that is the mind also an object to establish mindfulness. But another one is, we call it the Dhamma. The Dhamma is not a teaching. It is intrinsic nature, the nature of the mind, the nature of the body. The mind arises, disappears, arising and passing away of the mind. That is the most difficult one. So that is called the Dhamma. Based on those four objects, we can develop our mindfulness. So we will study Satipatthana Sutta later. Question? Okay.
Bhante, you said that neutral feeling is a sign of ignorance.
Not the sign.
Not a sign.
Potential to arise. Ignorance is potential to arise. But if you know neutral feeling as a neutral feeling, there is no place for ignorance. If you know neutral feeling as a neutral feeling, that is wisdom. So wisdom is the opposite of ignorance, moha.
So when one has a neutral feeling, there is possibly a danger.
Yeah.
You may be ignorant.
Yeah, ignorance may arise.
Okay, so when one has a neutral feeling, there is a possibility that ignorance may arise.
Yeah,
For
you're
example,
right.
you know, there are some people may think that, okay, I don't know whether this is an example just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say, how shall I put it this way? You know, there are some people who are they're quite rigid, you know, in the way they do things and they think. And so they will say, and if you say something that may be truthful, that is truthful actually, they'll say, no, cannot say. You know what I mean?
Cannot say.
It's very hard to find the example. How shall I say it? Let's say if you say that, okay, just this example, let's say if you say that a particular teacher may not be so good, and you say with wisdom, you know, it's not with criticism, but it's just with knowing, so then maybe after that you don't follow that teacher.
The teacher is not good, not good at teaching.
Yeah, maybe, okay, let's say if a teacher is not good at teaching, so then you realize that this teacher is not good at teaching.
Okay.
But there's no dosa. There's no dosa. You just know.
No, it's not dosa.
Yeah, correct.
You just know his ability.
Correct. Yes, you just know it's his ability. In fact, she's quite insightful. But then let's say you tell another friend, then the friend will say, no. You cannot criticize the teacher. You know, there are some people who just think like that.
I understand, yeah.
So you say, no, you know. So then that person is probably trying to maintain a neutral feeling at the very least, but that neutral feeling is born out of ignorance. Can we say that?
Actually, I think you mistaken neither painful nor pleasant feeling as a upekha.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't understand.
Brahma Vihara upekha. So actually here, then I will get your question. Actually, you know the ability of a teacher, right? That is wisdom. Whether he or she is good or bad, you know, you can evaluate, no? Their ability. That is wisdom. But there may be the time you need to speak out, because Dhammasvabha, suppose in the Sunday school, Dhammasvabha is asking your feedback. Without hatred, you comment, this teacher is not good. Without hatred. That is motivated by wisdom. No? Sometimes, actually, normally we have a hatred. We don't like if the teacher is not correct explanation. Then you full of hatred. Then you make a comment. Very, very bad. Not good, not good. Even you share with other people, you can do so, but without hatred. But sometimes, even though you don't have a hatred, sometimes you comment with delusion. You do not know what time to share and to who you share. So here also, not only, sometimes, even though we don't have intention to harm other people, if we do not have wisdom, if we are full of delusion, moha, then we will make comment to other people. You don't have intention to harm other people, but out of delusion, that you make comment like this. Okay, just keep it. I know that you want to know the difference between neutral feeling and also upekkha, brahmavihara upekkha.
Actually, I know what I think. Actually, I asked you the same question of maybe like 1 month ago when we were touching on something. I think I rather understand what is upekkha as a cetasika, as a state of mind.
Yeah.
But what I don't understand, what I may not be very clear on is why neutral feeling has the potential to cause ignorance. Could you give an example in daily life of a neutral feeling?
Okay. Then I think you understand neutral feeling here. Then I will explain how to say neutral feeling, another equanimous feeling, upekkha, as a sublime state. Suppose sometime when we experience pleasant feeling, a happy moment in our life, we feel elated. We feel elated. When that happy moment ends, down, feeling down, and depression, shaking. But here, whether it is happy moment or sad moment, or pleasant or painful feeling, your mind is stable. You just know what is happening. Pleasant feeling as a pleasant feeling. Then your mind is very neutral. Neutral here means you're not biased toward pleasant feeling. You are not biased toward unpleasant feeling. Then that is called neutral feeling or equanimous feeling in the sublime state. Suppose there's two persons. One person you hate it so much, another person you love. But you're working at the same company, and the boss told you to feed, to treat with a special dinner. Then you bias to what you are level one. Then you just treat special dinner to the level one. You ignore the one you hate, because that is your mind is not stable. You're biased. But here, equanimous feeling, your boss asks you to treat both two persons. Whether you like or you don't like, you have to treat them. That is called equanimity. You are neutral, You are neutral whether you like or you don't like. So actually, here is a Visuddhimagga. Actually, I think you can find Visuddhimagga, 10 type of upekkha. 10 type of upekkha. I think it will be clear to you, no? Okay, so I think that is very important. With the feeling as condition, craving arises. But here, for those who are mindful and for those who clearly comprehend, there will be no craving, no craving. So only for those who are lack of mindfulness, who do not understand clearly, then craving might arise. So anyway, actually, the Buddha beautifully said that we have two kinds of illness: bodily illness and mental illness. Two types of illness. So we have to try not to have a mental illness. That's very important, you know. The Buddha said that two types of illness: bodily illness and mental illness. There are some people who claim to enjoy bodily health for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 years, even for 100 years or more. Some people will claim they are very healthy. Within this year, 1 year, nothing happened. In 10 years, nothing happened. People might claim, no? People might claim. The Buddha said that. But apart from those whose taints have been destroyed, talk about arahant. Apart from arahant, it is hard to find people in the world who can claim to enjoy mental health even for a moment. Don't worry, it is encouraging, not just us. The Buddha said that even for a moment, people who claim that they have a mental illness, very hard, very hard. Apart from arahant, even the non-taṇhā, they have mental illness. So everyone have a mental illness, mental illness. So what we have to do is to practice mindfulness, to practice sampajana, clearly comprehending. So in this way, we can cure mental illness, mental illness. Roga Sutta, Roga Sutta. In one sutta, in Nakula Pita Sutta from Sutta Nikaya, so Nakula Pita and Nakula Mata, they are all couple. They left the Buddha at their own son, and the Buddha also left them as his parents. Because the reason is, so they were the parents, the uncle, auntie in their many lifetime. For that reason, they are, they left for each other very strong. So as soon as they saw the Buddha, they fall in love with the Buddha. I mean, fall in love means just like their own son, just like their own son. But this time, Nakula Pita is very old, and he said that he had been suffering a lot, pain here and there. Then the Buddha said that, so it is, Hausura, so it is. It is quite natural to have mental bodily pain. This body of yours is afflicted, weighed down, encumbered. If anyone carrying around this body were to claim to be healthy, even for a moment, what is that due to other than foolishness? Other than foolishness. So that means the body, even though you look like healthy inside, there may be some problem inside, If you say that you are quite healthy, because you said this because of foolishness. Therefore, Hausura, you should train yourself that. Here, the Buddha want to say is, as we have a body, we will have a problem and sickness and illness in our body. That is quite natural, because the body is impermanent. disappear, it will arises and disappear. It is a, how to say, we have to understand that. And the Buddha gave a very famous instruction to Nakula Beta. This is a famous instruction by the meditators. Even though I am afflicted in body, my mind will be unafflicted. That is a very clear instruction by the Buddha. Thus should you train yourselves. Even though you have a sickness, illness in your body, you must train not to have mental illness, mental afflictions. So that is the Buddha instructions. So not to have mental afflictions, mental illness, there's only one way: mindfulness, right? Mindfulness. You must be very mindful. Whatever feeling you experience, painful, pleasant, neutral, Nibbana in this very life. If you want to attain Nibbana in this very life, you can practice this sutta. The Buddha said that just as bhikkhus, an oil lamp burns independent on the oil and the wick. Two causes, independent on the oil and the wick. And with the exhaustion of the oil and the wick, it is extinguished through the lack of fuel. Through the lack of fuel. The lamp, oil lamp, burns independent on the two reasons, the oil and the wick. This is a very famous simile in Buddhism. So when the Buddha wanted to talk about Nibbana, he used this simile. Or candle arises because of two reasons. Don't say that. There may be a lot of reasons. The Buddha just pointed out only two reasons, main reasons, no? So the Buddha just gave a simile. Because of oil and the wick. If there's no oil and the wick, so the oil lamp naturally extinguishes itself. So too, bhikkhus, when a bhikkhu feels a feeling terminating with the body, he understands. Here I highlight, he understands. That is wisdom. He understands. I feel a feeling terminating with the body. If pleasant feeling arises in your body, just understand pleasant feeling arises. That's all. If painful feeling arises in your body, just understand that painful feeling arises in your body. So that feeling terminates on the body, not to the mind, no? Not to the mind. Normally, pleasant feeling arises, crave for it, you like it. It goes to your mind, no? Painful feeling arises, you hate it. Hatred or anger go to your mind. It does not stop on the body. It does not stop on the body. But here, feeling must be terminated on the body. Pleasant sensation will arise in your body. Just understand pleasant sensation. Unpleasant sensation arises. Just understand unpleasant sensations. Then suddenly the aircon breaks down in the Chukwenyu hall. We feel very hot, you know. You just acknowledge hot sensation as hot sensation. Just terminate on the body. Just stop on the body. Don't go, why aircon break down? Why projector does not come out? No, what I want to say is just terminate on the body. Don't just let that feeling go to your mind. Then it will lead to hatred or greed, lobha or dosa. Because you do not understand. You do not understand. Not understanding me, moha, delusion. So he understands I feel a feeling terminating with the body. The aircon breakdown, very hot. Just acknowledge, understand is a hot sensation. That's all, It must terminate in the body. You do not have hatred, or anger toward someone. So if you have a hatred and anger, that means you cannot terminate your feeling on the body. So the feeling go up to the mind, right? He understands I feel a feeling terminating with the body. Then when he feels a feeling terminating with the life, he understands I feel a feeling terminating with the life. You are going to die. Painful feeling arises in your body. Just understand a painful feeling. Then you terminate that feeling in the life. You die. Then pleasant feeling in your body. You're going to die. You just understand pleasant feeling. You die. And he understands with the breakup for the body means dying. Following exhaustion of the life. Exhaustion of the life means your life is stop, stop. All that is fat, all the feeling you experience, not being delighted in. You don't have like and dislike. Where become cool right here. This is a technical term. Where become cool right here. So when you hear the word cool, how you feel it? Pleasant, cool. Just like that, you attain Nibbana. That is attainment of Nibbana. All the hot defilements, cool, cool. The word Nibbana, actually, I think the Buddha went to use the word, especially choose the word Nibbana to show that we have a lot of hot feeling in our mind. Sometimes because of hatred, we hate that person and this person, hot, very hot. And we have a greed, we are very greedy. We want that one, we want this one, very hot in our mind, When somebody attains Nibbana, then hatred, greed, extinguish. There's no more hatred, there's no more lobha, and there's no more moha. For that reason, in Jambukkaraka Sanyutta, Jambukkaraka, the nephew of Venerable Sariputta, and he asked question to Venerable Sariputta. Bhante, people say Nibbana. What is Nibbana? And Venerable Sariputta said that if you do not have lobha, dosa, moha, that's Nibbana. That's Nibbana. So Nibbana is actually the literal meaning of Nibbana, I think, is a extinguishing. All the fire extinguish. And we become cool right here. That's Nibbana. I think next topic will be Nibbana. Not next lesson. Then after Nibbana originations, we will learn about Nibbana. So when we learn about Nibbana, you will understand the real definition of Nibbana and what is Nibbana mean. So we have a different terms to talk about Nibbana. Question? So for that reason, there is only way to attain Nibbana. That is mindfulness. You're mindful wherever feeling arises. So you just know it. You just understand that feeling, whether painful, pleasant, neutral. Then you must terminate that feeling in your body. Then when you die, you must terminate that feeling with the life. Then after you die, cool, Nibbana, no? Nibbana. Question? Okay, question. Only one question.
Bhante, here if you were to use 3 characteristics of existence, time and again you remind yourself that things are impermanent, and if you really get sick, you just tell yourself this is anatta, not your body. It actually help you to relinquish. Is this considered mindfulness?
Yeah, you're right. Because 3 characteristics of, we call it the world, lakkhana, anatta lakkhana soda, second discourse of the Buddha. So everything is impermanent, the body is impermanent, perception is impermanent, feeling is impermanent, volitional formation is impermanent, consciousness is impermanent. So if something is impermanent, it is suffering. It is suffering. So actually it is also non-safe. You cannot control when something happens in their own way. You cannot wish this thing will not happen. Don't let that things will happen. So things will happen in their own way. You just acknowledge things happen. Things will disappear in their own way. You just acknowledge things will disappear. If you have that understanding, you understand the nature of anatta.
That times, right? So some happiness happen, okay?
Yeah.
So you accept that, and when it ends, you know that happiness will end. So everything becomes impermanent. You take things not so seriously.
Not like this. Not like this. If you are mindful, if you know something very clearly, it's too serious, It's too serious. We misunderstand. It is not lack of seriousness. Suppose painful feeling arises. We know as a painful feeling. That is mindfulness plus wisdom. You are serious, Because of mindfulness and wisdom, you know that feeling. Even the neutral feeling, normally neutral feeling is not clear to anyone, most of the people. But you are mindful and clearly comprehending even the neutral feeling. It's serious, It's serious. So actually we have to practice equanimous feeling. But of course, the nature of the people, so when we have happy moment, excited, a lot of excited. When we have sad moment in our life, feeling down, feel depressed, our mental state is not stable, not stable. But when we take something with the equanimous feeling, there's no bias toward the pleasant feeling, happy moment, or happy moment. That is very stable, very serious, Then I will add one clear example. As a Buddhist monk, there's not exciting things in our life. Just the book, teaching, not exciting things. But our happiness is very stable because we practice equanimous feeling. So we don't have much excitement in the pleasant feeling. We have to control it. We don't have depression toward the unhappy moment or happy things, unpleasant things, then we treat everything as a neutral, as a equal, equanimous feeling. For that reason, our life, our happiness is very stable, very stable. The people, they have a lot of excitement, especially when they are very young, teenager, a lot of excitement in their life, When they have a pleasant moment, feel elated, no go wrong. But when they have, a happy moment, when they experience, unlucky experience, then depression easily come in, So here, I think neutral feeling or equanimous feeling, we call it the balance of our mind. No bias toward pleasant feeling, no bias toward unpleasant feeling. You stay at the middle. If you stay at the middle, then you're very stable, no? Then I give a simile of someone walking on the rope. There is a very deep cliff, this side and that side, and he is walking on the rope. So must be very calm, If he is biased this side, he will fall down. If he is biased that side, he will fall down. He must stay at the middle, at the middle. The middle means nothing but upekha, equanimous feeling. Exciting things will arise in our mind, in our life, not shaking. We are very stable. Unhappy things will arise in our mind, no depression, very stable, So our mind is very calm, stable. Another thing, I like one of the scholars from England. His name is John Peacock. And he said that one of the closest names to Nibbana is equanimity, upekha. Equanimity is the closest term to Nibbana. If you can stay equanimous toward everything, you are closer to Nibbana. They are very close. I like it so much, Okay, and then time is up. Thank you so much. Another one. If you have a question, you can email me. I may not be able to reply with the writing because I'm very slow in writing. So I want to request if I cannot reply, then you can call me asking question. So I may not be able to write because my writing is very slow. It takes a lot of time. No? I want to request. Okay, so let's start our lesson. Yo varatam bhavaro manu jesu sakyamuni bhagavakata kecho paragato bala vidiya samangi Tam sukatam saranatam upemi ragavi ragama ninjama sokam dhammama sangatama patikulan Marurami mambagunan suwipatan Dhammami mansaranatamupemi Yatacha nama hapalamahu Chatusu Sisu Purisayu Atacha Pogala Dhammadasate Sangami Mansaranata Mubemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night, everyone.